and thank you for joining me for the Vampire Talk Show. I'm your host, Valaine. Val to my friends. My roommate discovered my coffin under the concrete floor of the basement in her new house and woke me up from a 100-year nap. Now I'm reconnecting with old friends, making new ones, and of course, making a podcast. Tonight we have one of the most sought-after entities on the show. But first, let's talk about hot sauce. Yes, hot sauce. Apparently, during the time I have been asleep, hot sauce has become its own culture in America. It seems like a contest of will and strength among the Scoville unit enthusiasts to the point where one would rather be quite uncomfortable and ill instead of admitting, wow, that's really hot. Don't get it twisted, my lovies. I love me some spice. I love a kick of heat with my hash browns as much as the next vampire, but I am not a fan of pain as a culinary treat. Pain in other ways? Well, that's a different story altogether. If a sauce is more a sensation of pain than flavor, count me out. My producer's brother brought over a rack of spicy hot sauces that got more and more intense down the line. And then there was this last dab that was ultimately a mind-bending excursion into searing hot pain. No thank you, I said as I backed slowly out of the kitchen while they started putting sauce on impossible chicken nuggets. Unfortunately, I had to go out for dinner that night because Allie's blood had become much too spicy. You know, there's even a talk show that is centered around eating chicken wings with hot sauce on them. It's called Hot Ones with host Sean Evans. Famous celebrities are forced to answer questions while consuming spicy wings that ramp up in Scoville units. I am surprised to inform you that it's in its 22nd season. The horror of it. I would never treat my guests so poorly. Rather, I try to provide treats when I can. For Squirrel Man, I provided a bowl of salted nuts. For Barstow the Goblin, I made sure to have a heaping plate of worms. For my human guests, I give them whatever Allie has in her pantry, which is usually soy sauce-flavored ramen, peanut butter, Triscuit crackers, and Kraft mac and cheese. I assure you, Allie is not a child laboring under a super-adult vampire. She is surprisingly a grown woman. All right, on with the show. Tonight's guest is the most elusive creature in North America. Please welcome Steve Squatch. Steve, welcome.
Hi. Can you hear me?
I can, yes.
There's the reception out here it's awful. It's bad.
Oh yes, I know. Where are you? I mean, you should not divulge your actual location, since I know that is not something that cryptids are known to do. But where roughly are you?
I've never owned a map, but there was this couple who left one behind. I think it's Kentucky. I think it could be Virginia.
Oh, yes. Kentucky is wonderful this time of year. It's usually quite muddy, which I like a good swath of mud now and then. It's good for the pores.
Yeah, but when you're this hairy, though, what are you gonna do? What pores?
I'm so glad to have you on the program, my friend. So, Steve, have you encountered hot sauce culture? Have you partaken in massive amounts of Scoville units?
Yeah, there was the same couple that left the map left a little meat nuggets.
Oh yes.
Yeah, they were dripping. They were dripping in this sauce, and yeah, that wasn't comfortable. My cousin Dan, do you know Dan Squatch?
Oh, yes. We have some mutuals. Yes, indeed.
Yeah. No, Dan was like, hey, what's that? And I'm like, it's meat nuggets swimming in some kind of a sauce. And so we thought it was a good idea to see how many we could eat. And in a couple of hours, we were both face down in a creek.
Oh,
It was not No, it was, and we're used to having hot things in our mouths.
Oh.
Yeah, no, we're of the LGBT squatches, so no,
Oh,
we like
yes.
hot things in our mouth, but that was insane. That was crazy.
Oh, yeah. Well, and you would think that it would be something natural for you to do, since I believe your cousin Alex is the famous Squatch that does those beef jerky commercials or whatever. The don't mess with the Squatch or whatever it is. Yes.
Yeah. You should be around at a family reunion. He never shuts up about that. And like we all agreed to be elusive. That was our thing, elusivity.
Yes.
And Alex is just out here being an asshole, an
Yes.
absolute asshole.
Just
And it's
ruining
always
it.
like, oh, he's always on about where he has to go. I'm in Colorado. I'm in, I'm in Yosemite. We don't need that. We
No.
don't need that. We don't need that.
Indeed. So you said that you're from the LGBTQ Squatches, correct? Do
Yeah,
you want to tell
yeah,
our
absolutely.
listeners about your family?
Yeah, well, I'm Steve Squatch. But it just as it's about awareness, in my
Hmm.
communities. So I just want to let the listeners know we're not all Sasquatch. Okay, Sass was my mom.
Hmm.
Okay, her Sass Squatch. It's not one word, and I need everybody to get together on this. Like I'm Steve.
Yes.
My dad was Randy Squatch. Uh, and Alex Squatch. And the other thing is the plural is big feet.
Yes.
Big feet. That's the plural. It's not just, we're not all one big foot.
Right. Yes.
It's about
It's like
awareness.
it's like that joke about West Virginia that the toothbrush was invented there because if it was invented anywhere else, it would be called the teeth brush. Um,
You get it. You
I
get my point.
do. I do. Yes.
Uh, yeah. So I'm just out here in the hills and hollers trying to, get myself into some good old fashioned Squatch fun.
Yes.
I'm really big in the leather scene. Um,
Oh, yes.
yeah.
Do you consider yourself, even though you are of the Squatch clan, of the Bigfoot variety, do you consider yourself a bear because of your stature and hairy level?
That's a common misconception. We don't do that. See, because we don't have anything close to what you all call a twink.
Oh, yes. I suppose that's true. Yes.
Yeah, and then we have bears. We've got otters. We don't have anything like we're all 8 feet tall, except for Thomas. He's tiny. But you know what that comes from? That comes from malnutrition. That's what that comes from, and that is
Oh,
his mother's fault. Yeah, Mitzi's fault.
oh, Mitzi
Mitzi did that
Squatch.
to him.
Yes. Oh, Mitzi. Mm-hmm.
She's terrible.
I
She's
know.
terrible.
So selfish,
Yeah,
that one. Oh,
yeah. She's almost as bad as Alex.
yes, yes. Well, yeah, well, and that's why they always hang out with each other at every party I go to. They're just in the corner canoodling and talking about how great they are and whatnot. Oh,
Yeah.
gosh.
The only thing I've seen to even come close is Trixie the Flatwoods Monster. Hey, I mean, she's a nightmare. She's
Oh,
a
yeah.
nightmare. And I hate to tell her, but that metal dress at one time was slay. Now it's nay.
Oh,
The
yes.
gay Squatch community says nay, nay, Trixie, nay.
I suppose yes. In terms of Squatch fashion and whatnot, you said you were in the leather scene. Are there any other like fashion like tropes that Squatches tend to indulge in?
Yeah. First of all, we need to bring awareness because it's about awareness. The reality is that Lady Gaga was not the first person to wear meat. We did that. Okay, we
Yes.
did that. That's our thing. And this appropriation she has of the Squatch culture, it's got to stop. It's got to stop.
Oh yes. Is that a big problem for the culture? Is that there's appropriation going on? I mean, there's all these TV shows and you know and people having pranks and everything and hoaxes around Sasquatch. Like, how does cultural appropriation affect the Squatch community?
None of us have received a check from Finding Bigfoot. I want you to know right now, we're all still waiting. We're all still waiting for our fucking money. Okay, I'm
Yes.
looking at you, Bobo. I'm looking at you. Okay.
Oh no, we've called out Bobo. Oh no.
You might have had a full body wax, brother, but you're still one of us. and you're cashing our checks and using our name. No, it's about awareness, and I'm glad I'm here today so I can discuss this because
Yes.
it doesn't sit well with me, Val. It doesn't
Yeah.
sit well at all.
No, and I don't blame you. And I'm glad that I can give you this platform so you can, dispel the rumors and whatnot about Squatch culture. And so the LGBTQ spin on this. So do you have like an equivalent of what humans have as like a gay bar? Do you have like community centers where LGBTQ squatches can gather and mingle and whatever else in the dark corners?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if you ever get into hot springs and it tastes salty, it's because we've been there. It's because we've been there. Yeah, we've been in it. You know what I mean? To us, it's basically a wading pool.
Oh yes.
But we squat down in it, and we have a good group of us together. We have our times.
Yeah, no, I would assume it's the equivalent of a foam party. Is
Yeah.
hot spring.
Yeah. The only foam party we ever had was when Dad got rabies.
Oh.
And it was profusely coming from his mouth. And I told Mom, I said, Mom, something's up. She's like, he's got the rabies. He's got the rabies, or he's eating soap again, which he loved soap. He loved it. I don't know.
Yes. I remember when your father got the rabies and whatnot. I think I sent over a basket of dead rabbits or something. I had my human do that. Have you ever been, quote unquote, caught on camera? I know there are blurry pictures of you and your family occasionally. I mean, I don't know if you have, but that's what I'm asking. Have you been caught on camera before?
Yeah. I get caught an awful lot. I think I am the most photogenic, regardless of what Alex says. I think I am the most photogenic. I've got these long, beautiful locks of perfectly matted back hair, and a lot of folk can't seem to get enough of it. Now there was this one guy with an incredibly hairy back that was taking his trash out. Now he got caught. That's on YouTube, and his name was Ken Boggle, and they caught him. And he's taking his trash out with his hairy ass. And they claimed it was me. They said, here he is. And no, it's not. Again, It's about awareness, and we're tired of the appropriation of that. I just think Mr. Boggle should stick to the sports coat. That's what he should do.
I mean, he looks great in a sports coat, and but yes, I agree. I think that people need more discernment when it comes to the things that they claim to be Squatch related.
Yeah, but now they've got all these costumes. You can go down to one of these places there where they sell the rubber inflated plastic things and balloons. You call them the balloons.
Oh yes,
balloons.
The balloons. Mm-hmm.
You can get like a paper plate, some of those in a costume of me, and I'm over it. I'm totally done. We did have a tall guy, a human, who purchased one of these, and he came sniffing around. We chucked a rock at him. I don't know what happened.
I mean, serves him right for trying to infiltrate one of the most, illustrious families in North America. I mean, the same thing would happen if he tried to infiltrate, the Clintons or whatever.
Now, and I'll tell you this. Patty, my California cousin, Patty Squatch.
Oh yes, Patty. Oh, how is she?
Poor thing. She's down on her hips. Again, but she actually this happened ever since she fell down some time ago, and we're waiting for her to recover. But she's of a certain age now. She's of a certain age. Poor Patty. And we're to be honest, we're tired of lugging her around. So whenever she wants to kick the bucket, that'd be great. But
Well,
You know,
maybe our listeners can help out and donate a rascal of some kind with some extra off-road wheels for Patty.
and with the amount that we migrate, and I would appreciate if listeners would do that. But with the amount we migrate, we're going to need one with extended battery life.
Absolutely.
If I have to carry
solar
that bitch,
panels, maybe.
yeah, but if I have to carry that bitch one more time, just one more time, I'm going to lose my shit. I'm down in my back too, Patty. Get over yourself. You, you know, I'm over it.
Yes. Um. So in terms of dispelling rumors and whatnot, one of the theories is that big-footed people tend to migrate due to food sources. Is that correct? And actually, are people correct in that you consume deer and other varmints of the woods?
Yeah, no, we'll eat anything if it stands still long enough. We'll eat anything if we stand still long enough. But I'm real big on berries.
Yes.
Yeah, in a mushroom. Sometimes you get a hold of something that'll trip you out a little bit. That's how I spent the '90s. But for the most part, we eat everything. We eat everything. We're almost like raccoons. You know a raccoon, right?
Oh yes, those adorable little trash pandas with the thumbs.
Aren't they cute?
They
Aren't
are.
they cute?
They are.
So adorable. They're adorable. They're delicious. They're delicious.
Oh, I bet they taste of chicken. I mean, that's what most people say when they eat some sort of meat, is that it tastes like chicken. Everything tastes like chicken.
Well, let's talk about that a minute, because it doesn't taste like chicken. The only thing that tastes like chicken is chicken. Frog is frog. Snake is snake.
Mm-hmm.
Cat, a good kitten goes a long way. A little kitten every now and then. Oh, no, yeah. No, I love a kitten. And you talk about hot sauce, delicious on a tabby.
Oh,
delicious.
my God. Oh, I think we'll probably get a few calls about that, but
I don't have a phone. It's fine. Call all you want. I stole this from some frat kid.
Oh, my goodness. So,
yeah.
In terms of your leather daddy aesthetic, do you do that leather yourself? Do you have a leathersmith that you employ, or where does the leather harnesses and such come from?
Well, we fashioned them ourselves out of purses left behind. So just like a good strap purse, you can wrap that around a thigh or something. That makes the boys go crazy. And if you can rip the sole off a shoe, that makes it for a handy, like a cod piece, which is real big in our community. The Squatch cod piece, which is very hip right now, and very, very fashion forward. Until these people started becoming vegan. Now that they're vegan, you get a lot of pleather. You get a lot of. But the good thing about pleather is it stretches. It stretches, and in my community, we like a stretchable pleather. Yeah.
Yes, because you tend to swell and contract in the weather. When it's hot out, you're a little bit more bloaty and whatnot.
Oh yeah. You definitely need something that helps you with that. And in the gay Squatch community, we're swelling all over the place. So like expandable is very good.
Oh yeah.
Because we all have food eating issues, and we tend to fluctuate quite a lot. We're binge eaters. We like to binge.
Excellent. I love a good binge, to be honest.
Who doesn't?
I know.
Look at Oprah. Who doesn't?
Oh my goodness. So
the one thing that we really, really like is the one thing that we're really into, especially in the LGBT Squatch community. We're really big into role play. We really like role playing.
Really?
Yeah, we're real big about you might want to pretend to be a pig. You might want to role play pig.
Isn't that a little bit too deliverance for some people?
If you like what you like, Val, you know it, you get it, Val, you get it.
I do. I am a 600-year-old vampire. I have been around the block more than a couple of times, and I am not vanilla flavored. I will tell you that.
Yeah, well, that one guy that we had around, that one Squatch who was there for a while, real big and are very popular, as a matter of fact. I used to chase him around all summer long, just here, piggy, piggy, here, piggy, and he was, yeah, honestly, for being honest, he was trash,
Oh,
real trash,
oh,
real trash. Yeah,
oh, yes.
his name was Tim. Tim, that was his name.
Tim.
Yeah, Tim, the Squatch pig. It was awful.
Every little community has a Tim, and
Yes.
we also have a Tim, and there's a story that I'll tell you off mic about this Tim because it is too lewd for radio. But yes, so role playing is popular. That's interesting. I'm no stranger to role play myself. And you would be surprised how many times I have been under the guise of being a human, and I've been in the clubs and whatnot and everything, and I'll, go into the role play side of things, and people are like, how about you're a vampire and I'm your victim, and it's no fun for me, darling. How about we reverse? Or, and actually, sometimes I love role playing very mundane things because my life has been very exciting and it's been very weird. So sometimes it's just like, can I do the dishes and you dry? That is sexy as hell to me sometimes.
Yeah. I tell you the one we're all really into right now, because you know that we're real big with the aliens.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, the gay squatches, because, I mean, probing, right?
Yes.
I mean, we're very big into this. And so sometimes we'll play alien abduction. Sometimes they actually show up too, which is pretty fun, because there's always like 4 or 5 of the little bastards, and man, they really put a Squatch away. Like they'll work you over. I'm really happy with that. We like to play alien and human. We do that. Yeah. Sometimes we like to pretend. Oh, well, the one time that Mothman came around, Mothman.
Oh, well, Mothman is also a gay icon. Yes.
Yeah. Well, she's very difficult. Very difficult.
Yes.
She's very difficult. And she's always spitting on you. She's very into spit. And we're like,
can't stand it.
I'm not Tim. Okay, I'm not Tim. Okay, it's me. It's Steve. I'm a top, for Christ's sake.
Now, let me ask you this. So human gay communities have really embraced cryptid culture as their icons for LGBTQ community. I've seen, so many rainbow cryptids and Mothman ate my entire ass and that sort of thing. Love that.
Yeah, he'll do
sticker.
that.
Yeah.
No, he'll do that. Yeah, he'll do that.
Yes.
He's trash. I love him.
So does it burn you up a little bit that Bigfoot is basically missing from that? It's usually Mothman, the Babadook, which I don't get. I mean, it rhymes with shook, Babadook. I'm shook, whatever. But does it burn you up a little bit that the Sasquatch the Squatch family has been, kind of left out of the icon running when it comes to cryptid gay culture?
Well, no, we actually requested that. There's a cabin that a lot of the gays come to in the spring and summer. And we mistook one of the hairy bastards as one of us. And, after a long night of having it out and, just outrageous fun together.
Yes.
He admitted that he was actually human. We had a good laugh. And as he was hobbling away, he was telling me, we're going to make a bumper sticker.
Uh-huh.
And Alex, him,
yes.
him and his beef jerky, was very keen on the idea. He was all ready for it. And I said, hey, Alex, slow your roll.
Yes.
Okay, slow your roll, Alex. Okay, enough's enough. We don't need a bumper sticker. we can barely take a dip in the river, But poor Patty, it's been since the '60s. Look what they've done to her.
I
Look what they've done
know.
to Aunt Patty. It's
Oh,
a mess.
it
It's a mess.
is.
So no, we're not upset about it at all. Alex is he gets his dues with Jack's links, so it's all fine. It's fine. We're okay without it.
It's kind of funny how things change when cryptids become so popular. Like like Mothman and Jersey Devil for example. I mean, when those two go out on the town, they're so obnoxious and just so, look at me, look at me. I'm the famous cryptid from, the East Coast, and it's kind of obnoxious, and they feel like they can do whatever they want because they're
It's
famous, you know?
it's just so in your face. It's just so in
It
your face.
is. It
It
is.
just they just shove it in your. It's okay if you want to be a Jersey Devil. Be a Jersey Devil. You
Absolutely.
know, if you want to be the Mothman, but don't shove it in my face. Stop reading to my kids. Okay, stay out of our family dynamic. Okay, be
Yes,
that.
your cryptid agenda is not welcome here.
It's not welcome here. It's not. They're just in your face. And in Virginia, they have that. West Virginia, they've got that. They got that parade, that Mothman Pride.
Oh, yes.
The best we've got some small town in in Northern California.
Oh,
Okay, and yeah, bless it. I mean, just enough's enough. Honestly, enough of your cryptid agenda,
yes.
Mothman.
Yes, in particular Mothman. I mean, almost every guest that I've had on the show has had a story about how much they hate Mothman, which is
Yeah,
so funny to me because most humans absolutely adore Mothman. I mean, there's a statue of him in Point Pleasant. It's ridiculous. And it's like,
well,
why are we putting a harbinger of doom on a pedestal?
yeah. Well, I mean, he's all right if he has, some Molly. He's fine
Oh, yeah.
with with a little Molly. He's okay.
A rolling Mothman is not anything to be afraid of, yes.
It is not. But when he's sober, because he gets on those clean teen kicks. When he's sober, he's a nightmare, an absolute nightmare. He's just nothing but wings, red eyes, and ego. I've had enough.
I mean, it goes along with music and drugs. It's like your favorite band and your favorite albums, they were all drug fueled. And then when they get sober, it's like, oh no, they suck now,
Yeah,
It's the
yeah,
same thing.
yeah, yeah. I mean, except for Fleetwood Mac. The Squatch culture is very Fleetwood Mac centric. We love that little blonde witch. She's great. She's been to a couple
Oh.
of parties.
Oh, yes, Stevie Nicks. Yes, she's actually in our circles because she is definitely of the witch variety. And
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
yes, we've rubbed elbows
She,
a couple of times.
yeah, she's a tiny little thing, isn't she? I mean, just a tiny little
Right, she is.
whisper of a thing.
You'd think if she wasn't so predominantly witch-like, you would think that she would be, like a goblin or an elf or something like that.
Yeah,
She
yeah,
has
yeah.
very elfin sort of vibe about her as well. I think that also lends to her ethereal nature, along with the shawls, of course.
Oh, and we Squatches love Shaws. Like if you,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, all you people out here squatching, as you call it, with your program, all this squatching. Bring a Shaw, bring a tambourine, play Gold Dust Woman for Christ's sake. You want to bring me out of the hills? Play Gold Dust Woman,
Yes.
okay?
No more howling across the hollers.
Yeah.
Just bring some Fleetwood Mac. Indeed.
Which, by the way, we don't even know what you're saying when you howl at us like that. Okay, the last guy was screaming for a burrito. Oh, a burrito, Val. He was screaming at it, and then he was beating this tree with a stick.
Yes.
That's not what we do, bro. That's
I
not
was
what we
going
do.
to ask you about like the tropes of Squatch communication that humans seem to be hung up on. So there's howling, there's
Yeah,
tree knocks,
yeah.
there's tree structures. I don't know what you feel about that. Because it seems a little precarious to me, but I'm a
No,
vampire, so
we like tree structures. These are basically what the humans call roadmaps.
yes.
It is also invites, like it's an invite, we found a hot springs, let's get freaky. It's
Oh,
just
so it's
down
like
here by the
it's like bandana language in the 70s. Is that what you're saying? Yes.
Yeah. And what happens is there's so many limbs or trees, right? This is how many people can come. You grab one, and the best way, I mean, that's the only way you're going to get into the hot springs, right? I mean, you have to bring one of the invites, okay? I'll never forget the time. I'll never forget the time that Mothman didn't have the invite, and we got to turn her around. It was kind of iconic. We were like, not today, Tammy. Not today.
Oh my goodness. To be a fly on the tree for that. I would have loved that.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, take a
She
down
threw
peg.
a fit. She threw a fit. Don't you know who I am? I'm Mothman. Don't you know who I am?
Please.
Sit down, Mary. We've had enough.
Yes.
We've had enough of you, Mothman. What a bitch.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm so glad that we got to dispel some rumors and to reveal a little bit of Squatch culture. But now it is time for paranormal gossip. Tonight's paranormal gossip is a missed connection. Let's see. It says, you, a gorgeous headless ghost. Me, a decrepit zombie. We met briefly in the cemetery where we are both buried. Me, a bit more so, since I am still corporeal, albeit rotting. I enjoyed the short interaction scaring some horny teenagers away from the central mausoleum. I was stunned by your beautiful head resting peacefully in your hands as you moaned sorrowfully. Am I crazy, or did we share a moment? If you feel the same and wish to chat, please meet me at midnight next Saturday at the Central Mausoleum. Please feel free to bring a friend if you don't feel safe. Although, I will say, it is impossible for me to eat your brains as you have none left. Not an insult, but a fact of ghosts that I happen to know. I hope to see you next Saturday. Love, Z. Isn't that sweet?
That's sweet, but zombies are a fucking nuisance.
Aren't they? I mean, they're just... They have no brains about them. I mean, literally and figuratively. I mean, they're such a waste of space, really.
And it's always brains.
Have you ever had a sparkling conversation with a zombie? Never.
Never. No, they can't hold a conversation. It just brains this, brains that. And then there we all are looking at each other like, who brought this guy?
Exactly.
Who brought this guy?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
where's his twig? Did he get an invite? No, he didn't. He did not.
They never have the fucking twig. No.
Yeah.
God.
They don't have two twigs to rub together. Not between them. I've had it. I hope these two get together though. That'd be nice.
It would be.
Yeah, love wins. Love always wins. Love wins.
If you have a bit of gossip, a misconnection, or a personal sad to share with the show, please email thevampiretalkshow@gmail.com or slide into my DMs on Twitter, Facebook, Insta, or TikTok. That's all for the show tonight. Thank you, Steve Squatch, for being on the show. It has been an utter delight to catch up with you and about the family, and I hope you'll be back.
I look forward to it. I can't wait. Maybe I'll catch you sometime. Maybe you'll catch me.
Yes.
Good luck, but maybe you will.
Oh, I run pretty fast for a vampire. Well, that's all for tonight, kiddies. And remember, embrace the dark, the strange, and unusual. It just may embrace you back. Thanks to Ken Boggle for being our guest today. You can catch him on Living for the Dead on Hulu and Disney Plus. Please consider becoming a Patreon member of the show. You can be a Baby Bat Sticker Club member where you get stickers every month, or you can be a Tarot Speakeasy member where you can get a tarot reading and tarot cards sent to you every month. Please subscribe on patreon.com/The Vampire Talk Show. This has been an Opus Nox Media production. To find out more, go to opusnoxmedia.com.